Okay, first of all, I want to say thank you for all your comments, all your pictures in the Facebook group. Just, here's me uke, this is it, great. That's brilliant. And naming the ukulele, saying, here I am, this is what I'm doing. It's all so important. So if you haven't done it yet, get in there. Okay, right, yesterday I spoke about being a professional musician, then retraining as a teacher and discovering a way that turned complete beginners into people who can actually play the ukulele. And by that I mean playing the songs that they love to friends and family in a really short period of time. Not just one favourite song either, but the knowledge to be able to play literally hundreds of the songs that you love. Teaching little children how to play an instrument such as the ukulele is different to teaching adults. And the main way that it differs is this one thing, that when you get it right, it makes the most difference to the way an adult learns, which is why I'm telling you. When you walk into a room full of children and say, who can sing? All of them will just leap up and down and go, yes, me, I can sing, that's me, I can sing, I'm a singer. And they could be brilliant, quite often they're not. But they've got the attitude that they can do it. Same if you go into a room full of kids and say, right, who can play the ukulele? They'll all go, yes, me, I can do it, hand it to me. And they will just make a noise. But they'll make a noise because they know that they're going to be able to do it. And that is the whole thing. They just approach learning from the assumption that they will be able to do it. I mean, if you walk into a room full of adults and say, right, okay, who can play the ukulele? I guarantee that no one will say yes. You might have the grade 8, the fantastic violinist who'll go, well, I've played a bit of violin, but I've never played a ukulele. Can't play a ukulele. And it's yet. I mean, the thing is, as an adult, let's face it, by the time you kind of get to adulthood, you've learned how to do quite a few things in life. You've learned how to drive a car, probably. You can use a mobile phone, I expect. Fill out tax returns, use a washing machine. And you've done all these things. You've learned all these things. And which means you're more than capable of learning something that a 5-year-old can do, like play the ukulele. But we often end up with these loads of self-limiting beliefs and a whole lot of kind of, what if I can't do this? And it's so easy to leave out the most important word in the English language, which is yet. And the thing is, if you have a process, you as an adult can learn anything that you want to. Some things might take longer, like let's rocket science, for example. But you have the capacity to learn almost anything, especially when it is a teeny weeny tiny little ukulele. So take Alistair, right? He set himself the challenge of playing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer to his grandchildren. And he did this. He wasn't the best ukulele player I've ever heard. It wasn't the best rendition of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, but his grandchildren knew what it was and they appreciated it, and he was able to communicate, to connect with his grandchildren using music after a really, literally about a week. So he had that. It's fantastic. He approached it along the lines of, well, I can't do it yet, but I'm going to be able to do this, and he did it, and he's still playing with us. So, right, okay. Without more ado, I'm going to teach you, coach you, make you aware of the next steps on your journey to playing Three Little Birds. Right, just going to go and get the uke. I forgot to get the ukulele earlier. So let's bring it over. Oh, lovely. Right, okay. What we're going to do first of all is we are going to learn the next chord that you need to be able to play. And what I'm going to do, following on from yesterday, is I'm going to pop that down there for a second. I am going to draw the chord for you. Right, here you go. And then I'm going to show you the chord, and then I'm going to show you how to move to this chord from the C chord that we learnt yesterday. So we are going to be revising that and learning a new one. Okay, remember that's the string nearest your nose, and this is the string nearest your toes. Whee! Slightly different shaped foot to yesterday. Okay, so yesterday we learnt the A minor chord. We don't need that for Three Little Birds, but it is a very, very good stepping stone to playing this next chord because it includes this finger in this position. The other finger that you are going to need to place on the ukulele, on the second string up from, let's do this. Let's put your second finger on the second fret of the string nearest your nose, and then put your first finger on the first fret of the string up from the string nearest your toes. Now this is called an F. Okay? Now let's just show you what that sounds like. And the main thing that you're going to have to watch out for this, now let me play it for you. La 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 la. That's how it sounds. Lovely. And that's the A minor. This is the F. Okay. And the main thing you need to watch out for is not touching the other strings. I'm expecting your fingers to wobble around and not feel secure because you're still learning to train your muscles. You're using your muscles, your finger muscles around the first joint and second joint of your fingers in a way you probably haven't used them before. So it's going to take a little bit of time and practice. But this is what we're aiming for, okay? Your thumb on the back of the neck and your fingers coming down from above. So that's what this should look like. And the way to practice it is with the strum, slap, change, weight. And what you do is you change the A minor and then add your first finger. So we know we can do the change to the A minor, and then you pop on the first finger. So you'll be going, I won't do the full practice thing, there's a video for this in the Facebook group, but if we go strum, slap, change, weight, strum, slap, change, weight, strum, slap, now A minor and then add the first finger, strum, slap, change, weight. Now that's the way to practice it, or it's one of the ways to practice it. The other way to practice it is to actually play the chorus to Three Little Birds, which is what we're going to do now. Because you only need those two chords for Three Little Birds, the chorus to Three Little Birds. So let's just try that, okay? Just copy me. Remember, that's what you have to do. Don't worry about a thing, ba ba da ba, ba ba ba, 'cause every little thing is gonna be all right, ba ba da ba, ba ba ba. Don't worry about a thing, ba ba da ba, ba ba ba, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. The chorus to Three Little Birds. Okay, now I'm going to show you the other two changes that I want you to practice. And I'm going to introduce you to another concept. You've already learnt the concept of self-correction, which is basically, if you play a chord and it doesn't sound right, there's only three things that can possibly have gone wrong. Either you're not pressing hard enough, you're not pressing in the right place, or you are inadvertently, by mistake, touching a string that you shouldn't be touching. And you just fiddle around and eliminate the mistake. That's it. And don't expect to be perfect first off. It really doesn't matter. It's not a race, okay? Right, the next change is from C to G7. But we're going to practice moving from F to G7 first. So we've got the F. Now what I want you to do, and I'm going to show you this before I draw it, is move your second finger across one string, so it's on the second fret of the second string down for your nose. And then I want you to put your third finger on the second fret of the string nearest your toes. Now I don't know whether you noticed there, but I just pivoted my hand round slightly. If you've got two fingers on the same fret, quite often it helps if you just move your hand around a little bit. Otherwise it feels a bit awkward. So what we've got here is two chords that both have the first finger in the same place. They have what I refer to as an anchor finger. Yes, an anchor finger. So that was my 70s TV presenter mode there. Right, okay. So what we have is an anchor finger. You don't have to move it. It means that your fingers are in touch with the fingerboard at all times, and it makes it easier to change. So you can do this to there. Again, use the strum, slap, change, wait, strum, slap, change, wait, strum, slap, change, wait. You won't be as quick as me to start off with, which is fine. I've been doing this 40 years, okay? But what you're going to find is the more that you do that, again, exactly the same practice that you did yesterday, do that 10 times, 3 times a day. So the change is done for 10 times and you do 3 little practice sessions. That's all. So today you might find that you're doing nearer 10 minutes than 5. Still not much time, is it? Okay, so the next change we are going to do is the G7 to the C. Again, this has an anchor finger. So if we're playing the G7, oh, I've not drawn it on the board for you. Hold on a sec. Right, let's pop this one here. I'm presuming that you can see this okay. There you go, same thing again. And what we have is the first finger in exactly the same place as the F chord, and I've got a 1 next to it. We've moved the second finger over, and we've now got the third finger here. And that is a G7. Now the 7, you don't need to worry about why it's called a 7 at the moment. I'll explain it at some point if somebody asks nicely. But it basically, can you hear, that's got a different flavour to it. This is an actual G chord, I'm not going to show you how to play it yet. A bit more jazzy. Okay, so we've got the G7 there, and I'm going to draw the C. Just to remind you, I'm not drawing any more feet or noses on this. So don't get confused about that foot being on the wrong side for this chord shape. Okay, there you go. And now we have the C. Fantastic. Okay. So the similarity, always when you're looking at a new chord change, always look for the similarities. Here we have the third finger on the string nearest your toes for both those chords. So if we're changing between the C and the G7, we want to try and keep the third finger on that string that's nearest our toes. So what we'll do is play the G7, we will lift up the other two fingers and slide that one up. Oh, that sounds nice, doesn't it? And again, when you're practicing it, strum, slap, change, wait, strum, slap, change, wait, strum, slap, change, wait, strum. What it does is it forces you to slow down and just be very definite about your movements, and it also places it within a rhythmic context, as I explained yesterday. So, one last chord change that I would like you to practice, and that just involves going from the F to the G7 to the C and back again. So let me do that for you now. F, slap, change, wait, G7, slap, change, wait, C, slap, change, wait, G7, slap, change, wait, F, and then just keep doing that. Slowly and methodically. There is a practice video for this change as well. Play along with it. I do the full 10 there. And remember, if you're getting bored, by the end of the 10 repetitions, you're doing it right. It's working, okay? Right. I've actually had a couple of people ask me about what to do if they don't have a lot of time to practice. And this is quite key. A lot of people, adults in particular, when they start playing an instrument, view practice as something they've got to sit down and do very seriously, and it's going to take lots of time because they're serious about it. No. What you've got to do is take as little time as possible, but be effective in how you use that time. Because practicing is boring. When you are just practicing chord changes, it is dull. So you want to get it over and done with in the quickest way that you can, that has the effect that means you're going to get better at it. Okay? So what you want to do is have your ukulele by the kettle, by the fridge, by the front door, by the settee, and when you sit down or you pass it, you pick it up, you do one batch of 10, then you put your ukulele down. If you're waiting for the kettle, you might even get 2 batches of 10 chord changes in for different chords. Brilliant. As soon as the kettle's boiled, put the ukulele down. Do it in dead time. Do your practice in dead time while you are waiting for something else to happen. Everybody has something that they have to wait for. So use that time to play the uke. Okay? Another thing that people have been asking about, just a couple of messages, is that they're worried that some people are getting it faster than them, or that they're not doing it well enough, or because they're not musical, or they perceive themselves as not being musical, it's taking them longer. And what I really want to emphasize, and this is so important, everyone is in their own lane. It's not a race. There's always going to be somebody that's quicker and better than you, and there's always going to be somebody else that isn't as far down the road as you. Let's look at it this way. You've started playing the ukulele. There are plenty of people that haven't started yet. You are further down the road than them. It's really, really important to just look at what you're doing and what you've got ahead of you, and not look at what brilliant Bob next door is doing. Another one of the beauties of learning online is you don't have to compare yourself all the time with other people, because you can't see them. Okay, right, so those 2 things have cropped up, so I've dealt with them. Okay, tomorrow what we're going to do is we're going to put all of these pieces of knowledge together. You've got enough knowledge now to be able to practice all of the chords that we need. And this is really, really important. What we do is we break down the song into its component parts, we learn those component parts, and then we bring them back together. There's only one thing that I haven't shown you yet, and I'm going to show you that tomorrow when we play through the song, because we're going to play through the whole of the song tomorrow. Right, okay, what else? Let's do a quick recap. You've learnt about self-correction. You've learnt about the 3 things that can go wrong. You've learnt about anchor fingers. You've learnt the 4 chords that I've shown you, 3 of which we are going to use in Three Little Birds. So that's the F, the G7 and the C. And we've also played the chorus to Three Little Birds, which you can practice. If you want to have a play, practice it. That's great. Okay, so your homework. I would like you to play what you're doing, or an element of your practice, be it a chord change, or just playing a chord, or you self-correcting, whatever you would like to. I would like you to either show somebody at home, or send me a video. That would be great, I'd love that. Or pop a video into the Facebook group. This is what we are slowly moving you towards, is sharing what you do. Because once you start sharing what you do, we can all start supporting you. Quick story, Bryony that helps out in the Facebook group, it's taken her about a year, well, it took her about a year to actually play on the Facebook group. And she's really good. She's a very good ukulele player now. And it's the sooner you start putting yourself up there and going, hi, I'm finding this hard, the quicker we can all help you. So that's your homework. If you can, post something in the Facebook group. If not, just share it with me. And tell me what you've managed to do. And tell me how far you've got with this. If you want to, you can put it on your Instagram or Facebook page, share it with your friends, whatever. If you feel so inclined, do that. But anyway, I'm going to see you tomorrow when I will give you the last piece of information that you need to play Three Little Birds. Brilliant. Have a wonderful day.